Hello and welcome! Lynx here and we are in the church. This is Chronotopia second skin, by the way. It's been a while since I've been to a church, but let's not get into that topic, as I don't necessarily see a reason to visit church overall. But yes, Kionna is in the church, so I guess she's getting married in the end. I mean, she did accept the proposal, I guess, but yeah. Anywho, only a handful of days passed between the arrival of the heiress in Genoa and the wedding ceremony. I'm very judgmental of that, yes. She barely had time to familiarize herself with this unknown castle. In contrast, King Genesee acted in a positively charming way toward her. He's freaking old for. He's ancient. Oh, let's not get into these details. The nuptials were celebrated with great fanfare and had led her to the conjugal bed with panache. His conquering smile. Honestly, that sounds so bad, especially since, again, he's ancient. Faded away at the very moment their marriage had to be consummated. Oh boy. Let's think. Is he not up to the task? The princess was not so greedy, since Lord Tully before him had accustomed her to the bare minimum. Yet that night the king struggled and exhausted himself so much that the very next day he ordered a blanket and nutritious biscuits to physically recover. In fact, it did not even once cross his mind to check the virginity of his wife, which was not a bad thing for our heroine. Okay. She's not my heroine for, okay? I don't like her. Kionna did not hold it against him, as she was used to the unfulfillment of her needs. Wow. We cannot right now open the archives for, so give it a second. If truth be told, she dismissed the incident from her mind altogether. Hilarious. The following weeks unfolded like in a dream. Kionna was so busy attending balls and comedies given in her honor, she was enjoying appearing in her most beautiful clothes so much that she could not think about anything else. Genesee seemed madly in love with her. He was showering her with luxurious gifts and indulgences. Court ladies respected her. Why? Everyone would bow down to her in her wake. Why? In brief, she was finally enjoying the recognition due to her standing. Recognition she didn't deserve. At the slightest displeasure, she only had to call her companion and she would comply with her orders in every way. Everything had happened so fast. Yet the young woman, you know what, now I need to freaking finally do this because I constantly forget. Okay, that's a bit an overkill of goings. That's too fine. This is sort of acceptable. Let's get the sound as well. Yet the young woman did not forget her promise. Once she was accustomed to her new life, she set down all of her adventures on paper and wanted to deliver this letter to Nahima with her best regards. Oh, I'm surprised she's not forgotten. Everyone would be. Louise, would you be so kind as to find a messenger to take this missive to France? I'm not going to say you could just ask your godmother to do some magic and get the letter to her immediately, but you could do that. Certainly, madame. Man, Louise is so much more attractive. The retainer quietly bowed and walked away. Prediction, this letter will not be sent, by the way. Kionna was eagerly anticipating her reply. There will be no reply, I have a feeling like this. Oh, I wonder how many horseback riding days it takes to travel between Genoa and my father's castle. Nahima will surely tell me. Horseback. No clue. I mean, it's Italy and France, so, you know. By car, it's the same day. I hope she's not going to take too much time looking for her words. I cannot wait to know her reaction to my wedding. She will not find out. While she was whistling a happy tune, she was interrupted by the king's sudden arrival. My lord, what are you doing here? I thought you were in the middle of a discussion with your counselors. Our meeting got earlier than expected. I'm quite pleased to hear that. What would you say of going on a short stroll in my company? You have yet to show me the charms of your city, and I very much look forward to discovering them. I mean, I bet his niece, you know. Sweetheart, I have more urgent matters to discuss with you. Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Your serious look scares me. What is it about? Is it true that you have just posted a letter? Don't lie to me. I saw Louise give it to messenger. It can only come from you. Oh, he's a control freak, isn't he? The princess blinked, confused. That is correct, but I'm not quite certain I understand the issue. Would you have liked me to ask for permission beforehand? Absolutely. It is inadmissible for you to do this sort of things behind my back. LOL. Good job on choosing your another king. My love, is this supposed to be a joke? If that's the case, it is not a very good one. Oh my, by the way, after lowering the music, because it was really blasting in my headphones each time, by the way. So good. Have I not proven I give a great deal of importance to your honor? I'm insulted that you will be suspicious of me already. I mean, we know how the story goes. For some reason, everyone is interested in her. In reality, let's face it, nobody would want her. Put yourself in my place. How can I rest assured that you do not keep a lover? So close to our wedding, that would be a record deserving a praise. No, it would not be deserving praise. If you want to know everything, I was sending a letter to my foster sister, whom I adore and who stayed in France, making it impossible for us to keep in contact. It seemed appropriate to inform her of our union. Is that really all? Come now, dear, I'm willing to give you guarantees, but you also need to trust me a little more. You are right, I don't know what came over me. I love you so much, I'm afraid that you're... Dude, you met her 5 days ago, shut up. I'm afraid you are going to leave me and break my heart eventually. Okay, I understand the worries of his, but again, it's been 5 days. Dude, you've barely met, to be honest. Again, getting married already was ridiculous. This marriage will not last, by the way, that's for sure. Not a chance. Kionna stared at him, astounded. There is no need to worry that much. I'm here by your side and I do not intend to leave. Also, you know, if you think about it, he's been through a lot. So I guess... I mean, through a lot. I mean, sure, the experience of losing wife, that's a lot, obviously. Sure, it was not like she cheated or anything like that. But I think I kind of understand why he would be worried. Then again, I mean, let's face it, nobody sane would want her. Once again, I'm gonna repeat that. So, don't worry, King. I know, but when I look at you similar to a goddess. So pure. No. So soft. Loving. And fresh. Definitely not. Like a lily. Dude, can you like... Don't offend lilies like that? I feel unworthy of you. You should not. A heavy silence gradually settled in. The prince nonetheless attempted to dispel the unease. Can we consider this incident over? Yes, my love. It was the first in a long list of issues. As time passed, Kionna realized that her husband completely idealized her and not accept her imperfections. Damn! But she's the epitome of imperfection. At mealtimes, he would examine what she was eating and he would take away all the things she liked. Okay, I said that he's a control freak overall, but he seems like really to be one. My love, you consume too much high-fat foods. It is not healthy. I'll ask the cook to use less fat next time. Come on. It is the best part. What's the point of ruining the element that enhances the taste of meat? You are right. I'll demand that the cook does not add salt to your broths as well. Dude, that's like the most basic thing. What the fuck? I prefer to make sure that your humors are well balanced. Wow! Dude! Imagine saying that in 21st century now. Dude would be freaking burned alive for that. The princess jumped from her seat and thumped the table. When that food punished like that? Why do you not follow your own diet? You know how worrisome my excess of bile is. The doctor recommended the same food to me for this very reason. I don't know. Besides, sit back down, please. This is unbecoming of a queen. I mean, overall, I've repeated a few times she's not fit to be a queen in the first place, but you are being ridiculous. Genesee, or however you spell your name. Likewise, he had hired a tutor so she could hone her theology practice and regard the activities that were unnecessary and ungodly with contempt. I got you playing cards again. Yet you know I disapprove card games. Cruel women are doing this just to hurt me. My dear, I have to stress once again that I have every right to spend time with servants. Now that I am queen, it is my duty to learn more about my people so that I can govern them better. Both of you to assume that you will be governing at all, to be honest. I feel like in... Yeah, she's there like... How do I word this out? She's like a mascot that's supposed to be by his side, basically. Something like that. And what could be more innocuous than sharing their distractions? Innocuous. Have you already forgotten that gambling is a mortal sin? Is it? No, it's not. I mean, it is dangerous addiction, but it's not a sin. To be fair, I don't think I've ever mentioned that, or whatever. I mean, I don't necessarily do gambling because I don't see a reason. But that was pretty much how I earned my cash. Well, like 40% for my first car. When I was what? I bought it when I was 19, but I started when I was 18. I was still in high school, to be fair. Anywho. Soon you will fall in... Wait, was I still... Yeah, because my 18th birthday was... Yeah, it was 2nd grade, summer. End of 2nd grade, summer, before 3rd grade, yes. Am I correct about it? Yeah. Whatever. Soon you will fall into addiction and sell even your clothes. Naked you'll begin to beg me and I'll only be able to sigh that I had warned you. Trust me, nobody wants to see her naked, by the way. There is nothing to look at. There is absolutely no gambling involved here. The loser has to pay a rather harmless forfeit. We laugh. Then we move on to the next game. In the previous round, I had to sing. What is dangerous about singing, I wonder? Oh, I almost went deaf when I heard your voice, Pyra. Forfeits! How can you be so sure that those rascals are not going to take advantage of you? They could cheat in such a way as to always make you lose, then force you to dispense sexual favors. What the fuck, man? As the king, I cannot let you disgrace yourself. King. Again. Nobody would want her. Face the reality. You are inventing stories, dear. First of all, forfeits are never of humiliating nature. I made sure of it. Then, our servants are perfectly respectable men and women. I can hardly imagine them developing such a trap. And finally, supposedly to be right, why would they deliberately threaten me when I could evict them from the castle? That would be totally irrational. Could you fall? I do not want to hear anything. With any pious activity, a distraction reserved for people of lowly birth. I feel attacked right now. As a lady of noble birth, I expect so much better from you. I wouldn't. Yeah, he's a control freak. Which is also funny because I do believe Kionna did say that, you know, the next person she might run into, what is he going to be, like a control freak? And he is. Following the same logic, Genesee would obstinately refuse to hand her the reins of his kingdom. I'm not surprised, as it was often the case in other royal families. I mean, that's not really a surprise that he would not let her run the kingdom. Why would he? Again, she's been like there for 10 days, so that doesn't make any sense. My soul! I do not understand this caprice of yours. Besides, she is not fit to be a queen. Why do you want to oversee our finances? It is dreadfully boring. In what you perceive as an eccentricity, I see tribute to my late mother. She was a great queen. We don't know that. Whose accomplishments were renowned across the region, and I dream of following in her footsteps. Honestly, I have my doubts about that. I have a feeling she might basically also have used the time traveling, the looping. Whatever. But yeah, I don't believe that she was that great as well. And besides, they had the donkey. You know, just having the donkey proves that, was she really that great? Considering that I am now a queen as well, it only seems appropriate to take an interest in the way you manage the country's affairs. I would do anything to make you happy, I hope. Except... the fact remains that a lady of noble birth like you should not stoop to executing that kind of task. Leave it to the royal steward. He does a very good job. I said you do not want to give me any decision-making power. It is my duty as queen to ensure the well-being of my subjects, thus perpetuating the family tradition. I'm not asking you to be in control of everything, since you seem to care a lot about this point, but you could let me have part of the finances all the same. My dear, I only want what is best for you. Believe me, it would be better for you to let me handle it. I mean, to be honest, it's his kingdom over here. So, yeah. You realize that more is expected from the wife of a king than being an ornamental plant. I literally said that she was basically a mascot for him. All the queens in the neighboring provinces hold at least a little power. They have some worth for...
Just because other lords yield to such fancies does not mean that I have to imitate them. And those shrews do not measure up to you in any way.
Oh boy, how dare you? How dare you offend those other queens like that?
Try to focus on something else instead.
Really? What then?
You do not allow...
You do not allow me to have any distraction. The other day you chased after me because I was reading a book.
Only took it away from you because it was a novel. It is a dangerous genre that is quick to put nonsense into your head and corrupt even the purest woman.
Which she's not. Because you imagine that I'm going to read theological publications as dry as crisp bread at any time of the day? I do not have the right to eat what I want to eat. I do not have the right to read what I want to read. I do not even have the right to take interest in my own kingdom anymore. Again? It's not yours.
I'm sorry that you are taking that way, love.
It's funny that you do not apologize to her really here.
My intent was not to irritate you. I'm only concerned about your well-being.
Nobody's more sensitive about my well-being than myself. I'm still the most affected as far as I know.
Of course, my sweet. I admit I can get carried away sometimes, but everything I do, I try and do it with your salvation in mind. I don't want you to live in a sin and be locked out of heaven's gate in the afterlife.
He's not only a control freak. He seems to be overly religious. That's a problem. Being overly religious is a problem. It seems to be that you do not behave any differently.
Admittedly, but not forget that woman condemned mankind to an earthly exile due to their original sin. You are starting out with a slight disadvantage that I simply attempt to correct.
Damn. Kionna shrugged as a sign of capitulation. Damn, this guy is nuts. Her husband had the talent for using the most flippant pretexts there'd be when he was not using his religion as a rather convenient weapon. She was a believer, as everybody was at the time, yet it was the first time she was introduced to someone as zealous as the king. And even then he was only zealous when it was convenient for him. The princess could be denied everything in the name of God while Genie C was living quite comfortably. No meal was fat or salty enough to his taste. It could appear that behind this faint admiration lied an obsession with control. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty obvious by now. He's a control freak, yeah. Naturally, by dint of being watched all the time and judged on her every move, the young Moor shortly started to feel stifled in her gilded prison. All the more so because it was not a figure of speech. She was quite simply forbidden to step outside the castle. Wow. Oh yeah, there was a freaking story. Fuck. I forgot. Archives. Do not force your talent. It's actually a reference to La Fontaine that serves as an alternative title to one of the novels in Boccaccio's Decameron. 1349-1353. That's ancient. The Decameron is a huge source of inspiration for many of the storytellers mentioned up until now. Contrary to Griselda, this is not a fairy tale but a salacious tale. Okay? The old judge Ricciardo di Cinzicca convinced himself to only marry a woman who would be both young and beautiful. Cringe. He has his heart set on Bartolomea, but regrets overestimating his strength as soon as their wedding night happens. He's indeed unable to satisfy her and comes up with all sorts of pretexts for not touching her, to the lady's greatest disappointment. Wow. However, the relationship changes dramatically following a fishing trip. The couple's small boat drifts too far from the shore and the lovely Bartolomea catches, by the way, with that name, I don't know if she's that lovely, catches the eye of the attractive corsair, Paganino. Oh boy, a pagan? Who promptly abducts her. Oh, of course. He takes such a great care of her that she forgets the judge and enjoys a peaceful life in his company. In despair, Ricciardo scours cities looking for her and eventually hears that she is in Monaco. Damn! And Harry is there as well, but once he arrives surprised, Bartolomea claims she does not know him. Ow. After pressuring her, she admits that she quite simply refused to return to Pisa with him as he does not care in the slightest about her needs. She is even willing to scrap her honor, considering that neither him or her parents truly respect her. Humiliated, the judge scampers away before dying of grief. She then officially ties the knot with Paganino. Okay.
I beg you at least allow me to stretch my legs when the fancy strikes me. There is a keen prohibiting you to do so. The garden was created for this purpose. A square of greenery is admittedly nice to have, but I'm asking for more, and you are perfectly aware of that. Allow me to stroll in Genoa. On your own? This is out of the question.
You know what? If this was happening now, 2023, I would say a lady should not stroll on her own in Italy. Maybe not entire Italy, I don't know actually how is the situation in the entire Italy. But definitely not in this little town where certain boats arrive with people who don't have documents and should be immediately kicked out, basically. But yeah, sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Definitely is. Anywho. Maybe it was the same back then? No, it wasn't it? He's just really a control freak, like ridiculously.
You could be mistreated by some passerby or worse, attacked and robbed by bandits. I care too much about you to risk letting an accident happen.
Dude, just give her the guards then, for heaven's sake.
In that case, let me an escort.
Wow.
I'm asking to go for a walk beyond the walls of the castle. I'm afraid I cannot. My men are currently very busy, but maybe next time. Bullshit!
Kionna let a swear word slip and slammed the door in his face. She had shown herself to be relatively patient until then, but her husband was playing on her nerves, and she was starting to be unable to suppress her growing irritation. I mean, understandable, but also you married him after 5 days, so... I mean, again, shitty choice, shitty outcome. It's kind of your fault once again. Disgruntled, she went to find her retainer in the hope of convincing her.
Louise, I need you. Anything you want, madame? I would like to walk around the city for a few hours. Unfortunately, cannot grant your request. His Grace has been quite clear. He forbids you to leave the castle in any way possible.
The princess bit her lips out of frustration. Her blood was boiling in her veins. She had to find a way to persuade the retainer. Or how about you don't get her involved? Why would you want to bring problems onto her? Find a way yourself, god damn it. Yeah, I think she would try to play the card of being a queen, so...
Insofar as Lord Genesee placed you at my service, should I not be your mistress now? My orders should take precedence over his. It's true. It is true that I was asked to serve you and everything by power to please you, but the king will always remain my true master. Are you alright, Ollie? Loyalty goes to him, and I'm not the kind of person to falter so easily. Please, abandon this futile endeavor. Very well, seeing as I'm denied the slightest pleasure, I'll go back and read those books the sovereign hates so much.
Kionna sprinted toward the library in a nasty mood. A sudden intuition urged her to turn around and she saw Louise walked in the opposite direction. Intrigued, she decided to discreetly follow her. As the servant was passing under the arches at a brisk pace, the young woman rushed into the bushes located underneath, guided by the blaring sound of her clogs. Then the sound abruptly stopped. Prompted by her curiosity, Kionna casted a glance above and caught her companion conversing with the king. She listened carefully to what they were saying.
As agreed, I have reported the exact words of the queen. This concludes my report for this morning. Thank you, Louise. You said that she's currently staying at the library. Absolutely. I intend to go there myself once I will be done with my kitchen tasks so that I can keep watching her. Perfect, perfect. You can go now.
Once she was certain they had both walked away, the princess cursed again. She's not very good at cursing, huh?
Oh, that little devil. She was not only hard to serve but to keep an eye on me as well.
And?
So that is how Genesee is aware of my every move and how he could so quickly learn that I intended to send a message to Nahima. What tells me that he's not given the same order to the other wallets in the house. I can only rely on myself again.
Which is a terrible thing because we know you suck at everything. Kionna let herself fall in the dance grooves with a loud sigh.
Just my luck. To think that I was so happy to become queen. Now here I am, in an even more suffocating situation than Kermone's.
She's so dumb. She's so fucking dumb.
I mean, it was your decision once again, as I said. Who freaking with proper mind marries someone after 2 days or whatever? Ah, for heaven's sake. Your brain is freaking completely gone. Have you ever had one, by the way? Yet all hope is not lost. I may be able to make some kind of hiding place in the garden so that I can be peace, at least during summer days. My husband will not be able to cackle in my ears, even if he will certainly confiscate all the pleasant books that remain on his bookshelves. Stay strong, let us look for a suitable place.
The young woman worked on rummaging through the trees and bushes in order to find a small space she could arrange at her convenience. She searched and searched for a long time, not afraid to get her dress dirty. As she believed her effort to be vain, she suddenly noticed a crack in one of the walls surrounding the castle. What surprised for her when, upon moving the plants covering this part aside, she discovered a hole big enough to fit a person. If that was a different anime game, we know how it would end.
Could be my luck is turning.
Doubt. With caution she crept in the narrow passage and felt her way along. She too bent down and lifted her petticoat many times over, but after some contortions she finally reached the outside. The sun dazzled her for a brief moment before revealing her surroundings. She found herself inside the city, in the corner of a deserted street, at the other end of the doors which allowed people to enter Lord Genesee's palace. From her spot she could enjoy a breathtaking sea view, the same one she had from her bedroom. Nevertheless, the sense of freedom made that landscape a lot more enchanting. Her heart pounding with excitement, Kionna did not think anymore and threw herself into the exploration of a citadel. She mentally blended the crowd so that the king could not find her that easily and let herself be guided by fate. As a port town, Kionna worked like a nerve center in which men and women of all nationalities would circulate. Oh boy. Artisans would hurry to sell their products, which wealthy traders would then export all over the world. The excitement was palpable in the rustlers of passerby, the omnipresent shouts. Welcome to the map. The princess discreetly observed some merchants who were talking from their shops and eavesdropped their conversation. It was about Egypt. She gathered that it was a major trading hub. Yeah, pretty much it was. Oh my god. Numerous merchants from all over the world traveled there to sell woolen cloth, coral, wool, wood or iron, as those products were especially necessary to Egypt when it came to shipbuilding. Cairo. Okay. They obtained their supplies from Persian caravans that left the Gulf of Suez to reach India, Africa and the East. Also they could bring back a great deal of spices, which were highly popular in Europe. Yeah, we like spices. I like spices. Give me that hot pepper. And so on and so on. Hong Kong. They would return to Genoa, where noblemen, middle-class citizens and craftsmen would come to purchase incense, cotton, linen, sugar, coffee, ginger, vanilla and pepper at an exorbitant price. Okay, Genoa, Alexandria, Cairo, Calcutta, Ceylon, Hong Kong. Nice. I had no idea some commodities that are used to prepare these dishes actually came from China, India, Yemen or Madagascar. How did you not know that? I thought you were taught. What the hell? That's like basic knowledge. Achievement unlocked outside of the walls. Visit Genoa for the first time. Her mind turned to Berfi, who would regularly send assistants to the market to bring back ingredients, herbs or spices. Yeah. She had once shown her little box filled with bolt pistols. What is this?
Oh, this for little animal is the kingdom's greatest treasure.
Yet I only see crushed flour.
Oh, now that this crushed flour is actually the most expensive labor to obtain spice there is.
Tell me the name.
I've heard that to buy 1 kilo of this product, you'd need to harvest about 200,000 flowers whose pastils are picked and dried by hand, if only grams are available to purchase.
What are you bumming? What is this mysterious spice then?
It's called saffron. It grows in the island of Rhodes, or so it is said. Apparently you can use it as a medicine as well. I'm showing this to you mostly as a warning. You must never under no circumstances drop these books.
Oh my god, why would you show it to her then? She so dropped it, didn't she?
If the pistols were to be wasted, it would cost you years of salary.
Years?
Each gram of saffron is very expensive. The sovereign would get terribly angry because he adores its taste.
Understood. Never give it to her hands, Berfi.
I intend to put Sammy tonight's risotto. You'll love it.
Oh, risotto. I want some risotto, man. Oh, it's the same guy. Kionna ventured to glance at the stall so that she could have a sense of the number of gold coins that would be required to purchase the saffron Berfi had talked about. Her face rose with dread. Its price was indeed astronomical. She remained pensive as she walked past the shops. Some spices are indeed quite rare. She stood around the quays for a long time, absorbing each new piece of information with insatiability, until the sun started to set. Traders were packing up their products and closing their shops, while passersby were becoming scarcer and less boisterous. The prince knew it was time to come home. I'm almost certain that Genesee noticed my absence. After all, he spied on me all the times. He must be absolutely furious. But I learned a lot thanks to today's little escapade. I like this restlessness. I'll explore the city with no particular goal. There is no way except being confined after such a lovely afternoon. I have not even discovered half of Genoa. At a peaceful but determined pace, she headed towards the palace. It only took a handful of meters before she caught sight of a squad of guards who were interrogating strollers at random.
Have you seen a young woman? About this size, dark skin, wearing a red dress? No, I have not. Not that is, no. Anyone who fits the description? Nah.
Kionna could not help chuckling. Since she was in an excellent mood after her walk, she thought she ought to hail them. Could I be the one you're so fervently looking for, gentlemen? She's dumb for actually approaching them. I would not... Yeah, I would suggest sneaking back in quietly, to be honest. But well, Kionna is Kionna. Not very bright. The guards eventually came closer.
It could very well be, madame. You do seem to match the description we have provided. How can we be sure that it's indeed her? We should not just bring back any scoundrel to our castle.
The young Moor started to laugh heartily. She stretched out her hand with an imperious gesture.
Examine my ring. It is proof that I'm indeed a sovereign.
The two guards clumsily obeyed before admitting that the jewel was definitely authentic. While profusely stuttering, they instructed her to follow them.
Those two seem quite scatterbrained.
Yeah, you are like the last person that is allowed to say something like that. You absolute dumbass.
I wonder how they became soldiers.
Although she was hardly impressed, she politely let them take her to the throne room where her husband was waiting. From the color of his red and swollen face, she could surmise that he was greatly displeased. He suddenly seemed so ridiculous that she felt her patience flicker like a candle in the wind.
Leave us alone.
The guards respectfully bowed before exiting the room.
I cannot believe that you dare to do such a thing! Running away like that when I have forbidden you to leave the castle! I was worried, saying, did you spare me a thought? What if something had happened to you? Besides, look at you! What kind of maiden would loiter around the town without an escort like a vagabond? Are you even aware of?
He could not finish the sentence as the princess was already charging at him with fury eyes. Her voice cracked like the leather strap of a whip. Yet, like, I would not be afraid of her at all.
For the love of God, Genesee, cease this childish behavior at once. You can pack up your meaningless excuses. I'm sick and tired of being locked up in a cage where everything is forbidden. I cannot fulfill my duty as queen, nor can I distract myself. I cannot even exist, since simple pleasures are taken away from me. Am I supposed to obediently stay seated on a chair all day until you deign to honor me with your presence? Should I be grateful on top of that? No, monsieur, I'm not an object, and I will not let you treat me this way. As long as I'm the queen, I'll act as I please, and if it pleases me to venture into my city,
It's not your...
govern my people,
They are not necessarily yours.
well, I will go without your approval. From now on, I will not allow anybody to get in my way.
The king shuddered upon hearing those words. He was not used to anyone standing up against him, and his former wife had never rebelled either. As such, he was quite simply astounded, unable to string syllables together in a coherent manner.
But, my sweet... Emily, you're sweet. It seems that you consider me more like a harlot than your equal. Come on, how can you say such a thing?
I mean, whatever.
I maintain my stance, and I'm ready to state it out loud and clear in front of your guests if necessary. Come on now, surely you're not going to... The situation is quite simple. Either you grant me the freedom I demand from you, either I try my luck to somewhere else.
Dude, I mean, just... In this case, just say... I mean, he's a control freak. That's ridiculous overall, but... Honestly, if she gives such an ultimatum overall, just say... Then go ahead, try somewhere else. I bet she would change her tune overall then. Then again, I mean, dude, obviously he's trash. But again, she got herself into this situation, or whatever. I mean, I guess she tries to freaking repair it and so on, but... She's down.
You did that, it would be living insane. Want to bet?
Monarch felt drops of sweat forming on his forehead. His wife's strong character was scaring him, and it's not. And he could sense that she was entirely capable of living on a whim. He contemplated the shame it would represent for the new queen to leave him. There was no doubt that this news would cause quite a stir, and it would be town's laughing stock. Or still, he was realizing that he might never manage to make her yield, and that she was likely to cause a disturbance in Genoa if she were to run away again without warning. For all these reasons to save his pride, he swallowed and reluctantly agreed. I have heard your preferences. I'll make an effort.
Is that true? Yes, my lady. I now understand that it was pointless for me to want to overprotect you. You'll now be able to leave the castle from time to time, provided you will be accompanied. Louis will ensure your safety.
Kionna could not believe her ears. She had thought she would need to fight tooth and nail, yet her wish was already being granted. I don't know. I don't know about that. Overjoyed, she threw herself into Janice's arms.
Thank you so much, I promise to be good.
The sovereign was disconcerted by the prince's unexpected signs of tenderness. She made much of him the whole evening and appeared so friendly that he could not stay angry at her any longer. What an actress. His smile mellowed his manic nature somewhat and he fell asleep looking content.
This girl acts in a wild way, but she's good at heart.
She's terrible at heart. In the wake of this incident, Janice and Kionna reconciled and the both of them attempted to temper their respective expectations. Despite this, they were still experiencing a lot of difficulties that pertain to diametrically opposed ambitions. Find out about that in the next episode, possibly, because we are cutting it right here, right now! Exactly. We'll continue tomorrow, I believe. We'll see how this weird marriage will go. I expect it will go in a bad way. As that's what we're after, sort of. Anywho, consider liking, subscribing, always appreciated, and have a wonderful day! Don't be like Kionna, don't marry someone after 5 days. It's ridiculous. You need to get to know each other first, properly. Dude, marriage is a freaking important decision. You don't jump into it like that. With that being said, have a wonderful day. Bye bye!